What's up, guys? Trevor here and Rich from A Suffocating Lie. Today we're going to be talking to you guys everything about our album release. We're super stoked to release this album. When, Rich?
Friday, November 13th.
But you guys already knew that because you already pre-saved the album because you follow us and you've already pre-saved it and helped us out. So
Of course you have.
we appreciate that. So start of 2020. Let's talk about this album, man. So start of 2020. What were our plans? What was our plans as a band in 2020?
First and foremost, we had an EP written and recorded already, and had a bunch of shows booked, had our release plans booked, and then something happened to put a stop to literally all of that.
We had that EP it was recorded in December, right?
Yeah.
And we were ready to put it out in May or June.
Because we released Black Sheep in April, and we were going to release the rest of it in June, I believe.
Yeah, well, and then obviously you guys know what ended up happening there, but it affected everybody individually, right? In many different ways, but especially for artists and bands that are trying to go out and play shows and in the early stages of their career and going out and trying to get anywhere that we can, because we played whatever show we could, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, no, you can't play shows. But, you know, it gave us time to do what?
Yeah, I mean...
Write the album, right?
Yeah, we would not have written this album if it wasn't for that, so...
Absolutely not.
Blessing in disguise with...
Absolutely not. So let's talk a little bit about that process, though, you know, as far as, like, okay, we adjusted, right? We had the EP coming out. We were playing shows. We had shows booked. We were getting ready to go. And then, you know, the COVID thing hit, shut down pretty much everything. And we did not see each other for, how long? Was it 3 or 4 months?
3.5 months that nobody saw each other.
Because we shot that video. We shot Black Sheep music video March 1st.
March 1st.
And we barely just beat, like when everything really started going down and, like, regulations were put in place and, like, you're not leaving, like, we just got that out, or that music video out.
Yeah.
Like, just got it out.
Yeah.
If we would have waited another week and a half,
we wouldn't have had a music video.
We wouldn't have had a music video. Yeah.
We would have had one of the, and nothing against them, but we would have had one of the quarantine music videos.
Yeah, well, we talked about that, you know, it's just, it was one of those things that we might have done, but...
I just am glad that it wasn't for our very first, is all, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, man, so grateful we were able to film that when we did.
Yeah.
Right in time.
Absolutely.
But...
Absolutely. Yeah, it's weird to think about that, you know, if we would have waited just a week and a half more, or we wouldn't have a music video. And who knows when we would have released Black Sheep either.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
like we would have waited to release it probably.
We would have waited, and then we would have tried to do a music video some other time. Yeah, it's crazy. But we got the music video out. If you haven't seen that, definitely got to go check out the music video. It's super cool. You can stream it pretty much anywhere. And
pretty much anywhere.
So after that, we ended up getting back, and we jammed for the first time. And I think that's when we really started talking about, okay, hey, this is where we're at. Because we all sat down, we're like, okay, we have an EP coming out. And also, by the way, that's when Topher joined. So, you know, that was huge too, because Topher, our drummer, you know, we got him a week or two before the music video.
I think it was a week and a half before that music video. And I basically, I told him straight up when he was coming in, we have a music video, like, coming up, so you got to learn these songs. But I mean, he showed up and killed it.
Yeah.
The first day. So
yeah, it's just crazy to me the timing of everything. Like, within 2 weeks of him joining and with him, you know, doing the musisk video, we did all that and then shut down. But anyway, from after that music video, we had like 3-4 months where we didn't see each other, we didn't rehearse, we didn't do anything, and then that first jam session back. Actually, that's not even true, because over that time period, it's not like we weren't talking at all.
No,
we had
we
3
were
to 4 minutes.
FaceTiming, and
FaceTiming and going through everything. And that's really when we started going, all right, guys, you know what? We're not playing shows. We're not doing a bunch of other things that we normally would do, especially in our first, year as being active and going out and actually starting to play. We have to adjust. you know, we have to adjust. There's going to be a lot of bands that don't make it through this. There's going to be a lot of bands that it really affects, and, you know, we have to adjust, and one way that we adjusted was, you know what, let's put out a full length.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I still remember that. It was just kind of like, well, because we hadn't released a song from the EP already. You know, we had some of the EP we hadn't released yet. And I was like, well, instead of release this, you know, why don't we just... I remember we were just kind of like, yeah, let's just continue writing.
Right.
I know that a lot of bands aren't putting out full lengths nowadays, which makes sense, but it's my first full length, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's actually everybody in the band's first full length. That's something that I think that is super cool.
That's way cool, especially with everyone's pasts. Everyone's different.
Yeah, because we've all been in different bands, you know, different styles and whatnot. Yeah. And, you know, out of all those bands, this being the band that we actually come together and put out a full length, you know, it's pretty special. And
super special. I mean, because after 10 years, over 10 years of playing music, and this is I'm just putting out a full length now, so it's super, super special.
Yeah. I think it's also, you know, obviously, like we talked about, it hit everybody in a different way, right? As far as how they dealt with what was going on, how it affected them. But I think we did a pretty good job as a group going, we understand we can't play shows, and we're not able to do all this stuff, right? We have to adjust, and we're sending songs constantly over that entire time because we kind of looked at it as, you know, outside circumstances that we can't control are happening, and it sucks. But we can take this time. We don't have many distractions as a band as far as, we got to worry about this show. Exactly. We got to worry about, you know, rehearsal on this day. Everybody was home, and, you know, again, there's many other things people had to deal with, but generally there was a lot less distractions as far as other priorities musically for us. Yeah. So we said, let's just sit down, and thank goodness we live in a time right now where we're able to actually, you know, send each other riffs.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Send each other. You can send the melodies. You can send the lyrics to us, and we can put all this stuff together. That way, when we jam, we're actually able to kind of put things together. And that's kind of how we did the first jam, right? When we got back to the first jam session after 4 months.
Yeah,
3 or 4 months.
I don't remember how many songs we had sent in between. It was a few, but I know like Drew sent a couple riffs, and Topher sent some stuff. And it kind of floated around for a bit, and then I ended up doing demo vocals in my car.
With AC, right?
Well, no, with AC. Yeah, well, I have to turn the AC off for the vocals, but that's so great. I literally park on the side of the street up the road and record demo vocals to send these guys because I live in an apartment where I can't do it. But anyway, I remember doing that to a couple tracks. And we kind of had a little bit of foundation, and then after the 4 months, we finally jammed, and that's kind of where we decided, okay, we need to get together and write, though. Because, like, this is all great, and we're getting the foundations, but we need to, like, build
There's
on this.
something about all of us in one room coming together and throwing off ideas, and then, you know, building off of that.
Yeah.
It's one thing if I send a track to all you guys, or Topher, or Drew, or Cello, or anybody, and, you know, here's a song, right? And they're like, okay, cool, and I gotta learn it and all that stuff. But it's better where, here's a song, here's an idea that I have, and then I come in and go, what if we change this? Or you come in and say, hey, I like this, but let's do this instead, you know? Yeah. I think that's what, you know, is huge about the full-length album, is we have so many songs that they never came out. The first time we ever written one, it didn't, like, come out, like, perfect right away.
Right.
You know, it's somebody always said something, you know, obviously helpful, that just made it better, you know, beefed it up, and I think we're pretty proud of how it turned out.
Yeah, I think there's a few of these songs that completely did like a 180 almost.
100%.
You know?
100%.
But super cool, super stoked on how they all turned out.
Yeah, we pulled different riffs from different songs, and, you know, took this from here and then put it in here, and
There's a riff that I put in one of the songs that I've had for years.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I told you about. I'm like, I have had this riff, and I've put it in so many different songs that have never seen the light of day.
Yeah.
But I love that riff so much, and it finally made its
clicked.
way.
We tried that in a couple other songs that weren't on the album, right? We just kind of messed around with some stuff, and it never clicked.
Never clicked. We did record.
Yes.
Way back in the day, the very beginning. before Drew. It was just me and you. Before Drew and Marcelo were even in. And we recorded a track that nobody will ever, mark my words, nobody will ever hear that track, ever. It was recorded terribly, horrible.
Yeah, we're not going to be releasing that one.
That was just bad.
But hey, you got to start somewhere, and I think, that was a defining moment for us because it was just me and you.
Yeah.
And we went to the studio, and it didn't work out. It just didn't work out, and we had a decision to make,
Always feeling like I'm merely trudging on.